Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery, created by our very own DungeonMisterTy and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com.
We're in jail!
Oh, spoiler alert! Hey everybody, spoiler alert! Welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name's Dave, your host and player in tonight's Nuovarden game. We are into session 3 already, and things went a little sideways last time, and I'm excited to see how we might right this chaos train. We'll find out, but I'm going to turn it over to the creator of Nuovarden and our seer slash game master for this adventure, DungeonMisterTy. Hi, Ty.
Hello. Hey, everybody. We are here for our third session, and you know what that means? That means at the end of this session, you will evolve to Evolution 3.
Oh,
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to, which is going to be a big step for the characters. Meanwhile, you have to survive session 3. So that's what we're here to do tonight. If you were not here last time, you might be interested to know what happened with our group. Actually, before I do that recap, I do just want to talk about Nuovarden real quickly. It is a non-medieval fantasy role-playing game. And by non-medieval fantasy, I mean if you want something different from your standard fantasy fare, Nuovarden has that to offer. This isn't halflings and elves and dragons and castles. This is something entirely different, but it still has that fantasy flair. And stick around with this to see how that actually works. We have most of our cast with us tonight. We will have Utahime back next week, next session, and for the duration. And excited for that. And meanwhile, let us get an overview of our players real quickly, where you can find them and who they are playing. Then we'll recap, and then we'll get into tonight's session. Lamar, would you please kick us off for that?
Top of the morning to you, lots of lasses, both and neither. My name is Lamar the Con Guy. It's Elimar the Con Guy. I am everywhere on the internet. I'm playing a game every night until next Monday, and then I will be allowed to die. Beyond that, I am playing a lovely mystery character named Tosh. They have a brain cell. It's not with them. They're trying to find meaning in nothing.
Love it. Yes. And slowly piecing that together, I think.
So
I don't know
slow.
if Tosh was. Yeah, very slowly.
So slow.
Ashley, please introduce you and yours.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and I am playing for you tonight the character of Ode, who is kind of like a sentient rock. And let's see, I am a Leni, so I'm a magical, child-sized, geode-looking creature.
Yes. Imbued with the element discipline. Yeah. So you can change the natural geography almost at your will. So unless you're behind bars that don't let you do that because they're made of light erythium, you're in jail right now. Okay. And Dave.
hi, everybody. Yes, thank you, Ty. I'm Dungeon Dave. I play games, produce games, and run games here on Guild Superior with my friends. I get to play in awesome games like this, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on here at the Guild that hopefully most people are pretty familiar with at this point. But yeah, tonight in this Nuovarden game, I get to reprise my role as First Foundation. This one is a strange creature who had, at one point, since actually the beginning of the effort to build the tower, had been tasked with a purpose, had laser-like focus on that purpose, and was destined to fulfill that purpose. Eventually, before being fully decommissioned, First Foundation was taken from the decommissioning pile and set free into the world to set forth on some different quest that is, at this moment, unclear to them. And so they are this kind of almost robotic in nature. They have they're built of stone and wood and iron, and they have instead of joints, they have like swivels, and their head can swivel around 360 degrees. He's got this individual has 3 legs, and just a very interesting sort of creature to have in a party. And at one point, it almost served as like a balance to the chaos, but got wrapped up into it with Ela being gone last week, and got to have some fun, and that was pretty cool. So we'll see what happens next. They're in jail.
I realize that the 3 of you are sort of like children at different ages. First Foundation's like the teenager, and then it gets younger from there down to Ode, who's like the youngest, and then Tosh is in the middle. Like, I'm the middle child. I don't know. But
Tosh definitely has middle child energy. Now that you've said it out loud, definitely middle child energy.
So for our audience, please know that we are doing a drawing at the end of tonight's session for a digital copy of the full rule book when it comes out in hopefully next year at some point. That is our goal. This is a full color searchable PDF that is would be a nice win, I think. And just speaking of someone who is kind of fond of this game, also for anyone who will jump over to our website at adventureslang.com and sign up to follow us for updates, signing up and confirming your subscription to our email list will qualify you for digital assets in the form of 8 of the base culture tokens, and also a 15 image asset pack 1 that you can automatically get for your virtual tabletop enjoyment. So please consider hopping on and keeping up with this. We have all kinds of stuff on the website, including our podcast and our schedule of events. So with that being said, let's recap what happened last time. Upon entering the township of Oxshalo-Akown, which is a dual-hubbed town on a very large river, the Altweren, the party separated from one of their colleagues, Ela Nalnik, who needed to attend some training for purposes that she didn't completely reveal, but left the other 3 to their own accord. So the group wandered around, began to get the layout down and figure out what was going on in this town. Got some pies, were recruited into a sort of, I don't know how you want to say it, can't put it any other way, a spy network of sorts to collect rumors and information that they can share about anything going on around the town that might be important to the security of the town. Among their travels, they came across, well, actually across their paths was a troop known as the Goodwill Reclaimers, which are a faction of folks that go out into the world and recover artifacts and items of interest to others and attempt to restore them to the rightful owners or to safekeeping to other authorities. In the process of the procession moving down the street, Ode detected something in the wagon that spoke to their recollection from potentially a past life. Ode being the culture particularly prone to reincarnation as the elements being recycled in the world, had this notion that there was something of importance in that cart, couldn't exactly get a bead on it, but wanted their property returned, and in the process of attempting to do that, filed a complaint with the city guard, petitioning for a meeting with the governor. You know that wasn't going to be the be-all end-all of that decision, because the group spent the rest of the time discussing a plan to break into the governor's mansion. But they did take a little bit of time to see if there were options for lodging, to collect rumors, and end up speaking to a troupe of Asgal performers and having a conversation with one of them, who said something about rumors that the governor had fallen ill, perhaps had died, and that word hadn't gotten out to the residents that had actually happened. So they decided to get to investigate the governor's mansion even more, did a little trespass on a large building next door, got wrangled for it, questioned, and ultimately got themselves in a little bit of hot water when First Foundation just blatantly asked, "Is the governor dead?" And the guard didn't feel that was wasn't very comfortable with that question, and brought everybody in. In the process of being booked, the party tried to escape and failed magnificently in that process and ended up behind bars. And that is where we pick up tonight. You spend the rest of the day and through the twilight sitting in your cell. Sometime after the darkening, the Kaku jailer brings a simple meal of simmered veggies and chunks of meat. The jailer is neither friendly nor hostile, and at some point after delivering your meal, he is replaced by a Landplaque woman who, once left alone, drops into a chair at the desk with a heavy sigh and turns to face you, where she proceeds to stare silently for the rest of the night. In the late morning, the Kakut's guard that arrested you comes in with 2 other guards. He carries pairs of shackles made of the same material as your cell bars. "Up and at 'em," he says. "You have an audience with the governor." After affixing your shackles, which attach to your wrists with your arms in front, you are led out of the jail and toward the larger residence, and you recall that the jail and the barracks were an outbuilding aside from the large governor's residence within the compound inside the palisade. Numerous guards mill about or stand watch as you pass through the entrance and on toward an apparent hall. Once inside, you find yourselves in the center of the chamber, surrounded by several observers dressed in various outfits befitting formal elegance. Stiff tunics and elegant gowns of varying color and design. The audience is a mix of Lamplaque, Kakut, Selku, and the telltale Starnum, identifiable as various small animals that assume unnatural humanoid postures. A collective of rodents gather under a table. A flock of swee hens nearby uncannily observe you, as if taking measure of your worth, and you hear them whispering to each other as you pass by. At the end of the chamber, a massive rug covers the stone floor at the base of 3 short steps, leading to a wide, officious-looking chair. On the left, you see a Selkie dressed in brown robes. And a Selkie is a subculture of the Selku. They are the scholarly ones. They dress in gowns, typically of a single color, somewhat after the fashion of the Asgal, who are the artists. The Selkie have 4 eyes, and they tend to use 2 eyes where they look into the present, and then they have 2 eyes that allow them to look into the past. A Selkie is a scholar of the present versus the Selku, who are oracles of the past. And a Selkie also tattoos their body with the information that they collect as they do, and they're considered living records, which makes them both targets for victimization in certain cases if they have information that others want, and it also gives them a particular point of honor within the culture for taking the risk to go out into the world and record what they find. The Selkie is dressed in brown robes, their dark eyes unblinking. Next to them, a Landplaque woman of some apparent rank, dressed in a white low-cut gown, her neck adorned with a fine copper and crystal necklace that drops down the front. She has brilliant red hair, tan skin with a strong blush, and piercing hazel eyes. On the opposite side, a looming Kakut stares threateningly, the black of his boiled armor blending with the blue-black of his fur. His shoulders adorned with a cloak of the town guard, similar to the one worn by your arresting officer. Next to the dark guard, another Kakut, this one of golden fur, also armored in brown leather, but adorned with a blue cloak and wearing a copper mask over his eyes, assumes a more relaxed expression. The chair is presently empty, and the 3 of you stand there before that chair on that carpet, several steps from what we'll call a stage. The figures that I just described to you all stand ceremoniously on either side of the chair and look out at you, and then there are others in the room, as described, standing about, observing you perhaps somewhat judgingly as well. A few minutes later, a door opens at the back of the low stage behind the chair, and a Landplaque man walks ceremoniously, if not stiffly, from the shadows to the chair. The woman in white hurries to his side and helps him as he moves forward. The rest of the people on the stage give a slight bow of courtesy, and the man takes the seat. He has a head of loosely curled hair frosted with gray and a short cropped beard to match. His body is powerful, but he looks tired. His eyes almost seem faded. He wears an armored tunic, obviously smeared with calcium balm, which is a balm that can be applied to clothing or armor that increases its durability for protection. Nestled in one arm, he carries a short bronze and copper scepter set with a fiery gemstone unlike any you have ever seen. Except for you, Ode. You know this stone as clearly and intimately as your own heart. And if you will look quickly, players, in Roll20, I will show you an image of this figure. And Dave, if you can also show the audience.
Absolutely. There he is.
There he is, the apparent governor. Cradled in his arm, he carries the scepter. Players, you can see now the scepter set with the gemstone.
Nice.
I've got it on screen as well for the viewers.
Excellent. And he says, Is this the scourge of Oxalo? I have heard so much about this morning. The man's voice is dry and raspy. I hear you have concerns for my well-being, he says. Well, here I am. Are you satisfied? His smile is ironic, but not unfriendly.
I'm not really satisfied, no. Well, honestly, I just wanted to know if you were alive or not, because I want to talk to you about some of my property that I had misplaced or had been stolen. And
like its eyes like move to the staff, to them, to the staff, to them, to the staff, to them.
I get the feeling that maybe you don't actually want to return my stuff.
To be fair, we are very relieved that you remain with the living.
You are not dead. Or maybe you are. Are you dead?
Do I appear dead to you?
I don't like to label things, honestly.
He actually takes the staff and he sees you looking at it and moves it to the right and then moves it across to the left and then returns it. Tell me more about this item you lost. Is it Ode? You filed a complaint, I hear.
I did. I felt my stone go right by me as we were watching the procession go by, and it went right into your house.
This stone.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you were trespassing on closed property and asking questions about the security of the town governance. What do you say about that?
That would be correct. We, again, were concerned both with your safety and with the safety of our friend, their property, and our ability to have a word with you. And it looks as though our efforts were successful.
Yeah,
Thank you for allowing us to speak with you.
There's a rumor going around that you're dead. Like, we've just been in town for like half a day, and like that's all everybody's talking about. Oh, the governor's dead.
Well, what other rumors do they say?
Well, there was one rumor that perhaps you had died. There was a second rumor perhaps you had died, but somehow come back from death. There was a rumor that somehow you had been usurped in your rule. Were there more? I believe there were dozens of rumors.
It's not uncommon for someone in my position to be spoken of in such ways, but it was true I was ill. I think that's well known among many of my constituents, but as you can see, I'm recovering. As for your stone.
Mm-hmm.
Governor Yalok listens to your explanation, and as you speak, you cannot help but notice the pale orange, black and white banded creature that appears on his shoulder, crawling forth with arachnid precision, about a palm's width, a flicker bug. Governor Yalok tilts his head toward the creature as if listening, and nods in agreement to some unspoken missive. I don't know that I can affirm this is your stone, but I can tell you it is newly come to my possession. However, I don't know what to do with you at the moment. Why are you in Arkshalo?
Oh, well, we were actually traveling together to find multiple things and answers to questions. But I guess my thing is right there. I point at it. You know, if you wanted to do a test, you could put a bunch of different objects like under a cloth, and then I'll tell you where my object is.
I don't doubt it. That what you say is true. I'm trying to actually determine why you're here and have ended up in my court. If the stone was not what you came for originally, which is what I am hearing you say.
Seems as though coincidence may be at play. Fate, as some call it. We meant you nor your people any harm whatsoever. It was mere happenstance that my friend Ode was able to feel the presence of her property, well, whatever it is. I have been informed, we have come to understand that this was returned by the Goodwill Reclaimers.
That's correct.
I would expect they have ways of determining the rightful owner of things that are to be reclaimed. Is that not how it works? I'm not fully understanding all of the rules associated with it.
He seems to listen again to the flicker bug. And then we seem to be getting away from the question that I had for you about what you're doing here. Is it just the three of you?
There are three of us here, yes.
Very well. No one else? Very well. Well. Yes.
Well,
Did you have a...
there is another one of our friends. They're here to find this thing that used to belong to someone to them, but they're not here with us right now. They're out trying to find the thing.
Who is that?
Their name is Ella.
I see. Okay. What are they looking for?
There's like some special weapon of like her mama, her mama's mama, or her mama's mama's mama?
I thought she was making one. Is she finding one?
I believe she's here to seek training.
Yes, she doesn't have it, but she needs to learn how to use it for when she does get it, it'll be useful.
I see. And she was not arrested. He looks over at the guard, and the guard's like, he kind of looks a little bit uncertain about your reference.
It's okay. We still have hope for her.
Yeah, she's a good person. She's safe.
I see. I see. All right. Well, here's my decision. I will make a trade with you. If you can prove your loyalty to Oxalo by delivering a message for me, if you return with your report, I will give you back your stone, Ode, and I will grant you your freedom. No charges pending.
Oh man, we got a second job.
Yeah, we're
That
getting
sounds
a lot of
good.
jobs lately.
Could we please have a moment amongst ourselves to deliberate?
He looks around the court. As much to yourself as you can muster.
You guys, this seems pretty good.
I'm like standing up on my tiptoes.
I'll get down. I'll kneel down on my on 3 knees.
All 3 feet of me.
Yeah. We have one brain cell.
Rub them together. This could be good on many levels. Ela would be proud of us to support her community. For one, we recover Ode's stone. For 2, we gather more information. For 3, recipes and such.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. It was a little odd with the whole prove your loyalty to this place we just got to. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't.
First Foundation's head is going to spin around 360 and just kind of take a look at everybody. Are they all listening to us?
I mean, many people are watching you very closely, and you can see, some people are they've turned their bodies a little bit, trying to pick up. Others are whispering and commenting to themselves. There's a general decorum within the chamber that no one is really speaking out, but there are whispers.
Ode, I believe because it's your stone, it should be your decision.
Well, I mean, I gotta try to get it back, and he put it in that setting so it looks like he really wants to keep it.
It looks cool.
I mean, yeah, it does look pretty cool. So if I have to do a little bit of work, at least I know where it is, and if he's willing to part with it for us to curry a message, that doesn't sound hard.
Tosh?
Yes. You said yes to everything else. We might as well.
Very well. First Foundation stands back up, turns back, kind of looks down to Ode, and nods.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at Ode again and kind of does one of these. Like,
Yeah. Sorry. We agree. We will do your task for you.
He motions to the Selkie in brown robes. And for fun, Dave, I think we have an image of that one.
Okay. Let's see, which one is this? Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Ooh.
Motions to this figure who approaches and hands one of those rolled up cloth scrolls that you see so often that they write on, unfurls it, takes a writing instrument and marks something at the bottom of it, rolls it back up and hands it to the Selkie, who then takes the scroll, and the governor says, Deliver this to the one called Stone Shaper, 2 days north. I'm assigning you a guide. Deliver the message and return with your reports, and I will release you of your crimes and deliver the scepter to your companion. The governor tilts his head toward the flicker bug slightly, then addresses you once more. Prove yourselves trustworthy, and you may benefit further from your service. And that Selkie figure takes the steps down and hands the scroll to you collectively.
Very, very well. Thank you.
The Kakut's guard that had arrested you moves in then, and who takes the document?
I will.
I think
take
originally
it.
I'll take it, but then I'll give it to First Foundation because I don't have a pocket.
Okay.
Because you're a rock.
You are ushered out of the hall and into the courtyard and toward the gate to the palisade. And when you get to the palisade, the guard removes your shackles and says, and then leads you out of the gate. When you step outside back onto the street.
Ty, is this the guard that had originally arrested us?
Yes.
I'll just say, and as we're kind of parting, I'll say, in all honesty, I did sincerely want to offer you the pie. It was not a bribe. And it was delicious.
Oh, you ate it?
Yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. And I'm sorry I had to bring you in, but it looks like it worked out all right.
What was your name?
Krav.
Krav.
Mm-hmm.
You do good work. We are very suspicious people upon first meeting.
You're not.
But we are good.
It wasn't so much who you are at a glance. It's more the line of questioning that you presented. You got to think about where you're at. You're in my town, not, I don't know how they do things in your town, but.
How do we know where we're at if we can't ask questions about where we're at?
Well, you can ask questions about where you're at. I just recommend you don't use the word death and leadership in the same sentence.
It seems reasonable.
We will not talk about death. We will not talk about leadership.
I mean, I think we've squared it away for now, but good advice and words of the wise. So just hold on to that. But hey, we know each other now.
Thank you, Krav.
Absolutely. And and with that, unshackled and returned outside the palisade, you encounter another Landplock woman, and for a moment you think it's Ela. This woman is slightly older, however, with shorter hair, brown as earth, with fierce, nearly orange eyes and black feathered tattoo on her left cheek. She wears worn leather armor enforced with small metal pauldrons. As you appear, she pushes away from the wall. "I'm Goodla," she says. "I'm your guide."
Good luck to meet you.
Tosh is just gonna walk up to her and just grab her hand since she looks like Ela. And go, "Hi."
Hi. What's your name?
I'm Tosh. Are you safe?
Yeah, I think we're all good here. So anyway, and she kind of tries to gently remove her hand. She says, "I have a wagon. You may actually even, you may even actually recognize her from the entourage that rode in when you first sensed, you first sensed your stone. She definitely looks the part of that group. And when she says, 'I have a wagon,' and motions on the other side of the street, there is a wagon, an open wagon, hitched to a gore, one of those big bovine creatures, just like the one that you saw come into town.
Oh, were you with the party that picked up the stone?
The stone in the governor's possession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you find it?
Out. Honestly, where did we find that? We were in actually an area, possibly near home to your people, that was, really active. There was a lot of steam and activity, volcanic activity and whatnot. But one of my people found the stone in a riverbed under the water. It was actually glowing under the water. It was, I can't believe that nobody else saw it there.
That makes sense. I used to be a river a long time ago.
That's fascinating. I see. I kind of know a little bit about what you mean by that. Yeah, so we retrieved it. So I didn't know you knew about it, but and you saw it, huh?
Well, it's mine. It used to be mine, and I guess it's still mine because, I died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I somehow lost it, and now I found it. But the governor really likes it, so he said we should do this task for him, and maybe he'll give it back.
Well, that's fair. I'm sorry we didn't know what to do with it, and we were close, and we were coming back this way anyway. So, so he's got it now, but it sounds like he'll give it back to you. So we can do this. And here's the nice thing: this wagon, it's going to make travel a lot easier.
Will it be dangerous?
Oh yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Sounds normal.
Not safe.
I know the route. We go out all the time and do all kinds of things. I generally, it's not a problem. We'll be in the on the open plain for most of the time, so I don't think we'll have too much trouble if we, see things. Can you fight?
Yes, we are quite skilled as a team.
Oh, good. Oh, we should be okay. We should be all right. And I think with the wagon, we can get there, like I said, sooner. So any other questions before we load up? Do you need anything? Are you ready to go?
How?
Do we have enough pie? Do we still have some grass or other foodstuffs?
I traded the grass for pies.
I still have rations.
Okay, good.
I have some rations too.
All right, and you know what? We can hunt if we need to, and we can forage.
Indeed.
I think we'll probably be all right for food, unless there's something special you want. You said
pies.
Pie.
The pies of your city are quite good. We've come to understand.
There's good
very
food here.
Intimately.
Yeah.
And music. Great music.
Yeah.
The music scene here is fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, we're proud of this city, actually. I'm looking forward to representing the people soon. So, but enough of that. Do you wish to load up, or did you want to go get pies?
I'm good to go.
All right.
We can go now.
Okay.
Should we leave a message for Ela? She's coming back, right?
I'm sorry, did you say Ela?
Yes, Ela Nalnik is a companion of ours. We've traveled with Ela here.
Where is she?
I believe she is either looking for an item, crafting an item, or training.
We're really sure at least one of those three things.
Possibly more than one.
She came here with you, though.
Yes.
And she left you here.
She's busy with a private matter.
She must be training. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to know she's around. I look forward to seeing her.
You know Ela.
But yeah, she's my cousin.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see her. So hopefully either she catches up to us or we'll catch her when we get back.
Yes.
Darn, I wish I knew she was here. Okay.
Do you share her last name then, Nalnik?
Yes, that's correct.
Small world it is here.
In Akshalo in particular. Akshalo was established by two families, my family and the Yalonk family. And currently the governor is Darum Yalonk.
The governor's not dead.
What makes you say that? I mean, what makes you think he was?
Well, it's a long story. We could tell you as we ride.
Yeah, okay. You load up and find your seats. One of you, if you wish, can sit up. And actually, First Foundation driving this thing is within your purview.
Oh, yeah.
If you
I'm
wish.
into it.
Goodla turns it over to you. And you start guiding the cart down this wide street toward the bridge. So I'm interested to know more about what your thoughts there about the governor. Like, why would you say that?
there's a rumor that he died going around town, and that maybe he got brought back, or maybe he's just dead.
I heard he was sick, and I was concerned because if something happens to him, then I become the governor. But I haven't been granted audience with him since I arrived, so I haven't actually seen him. How does he look?
Bad. It looks all dead around the eyes. I mean, I'm not judging or anything, but, you know.
His hair was unnaturally graying.
That's unusual.
He looks sick.
He
but
has
not
been.
dead.
That's good.
Not dead.
He certainly was very animated for a dead person.
Which means he's probably not. It means he's not dead. That's good.
He's not dead.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to put a few things together here. He's not well, but he sent me out. I don't know.
It seems as though the successor to the throne. Did he have a throne, or was he just on a chair? I don't recall.
We don't really call it a throne. We're not that officious.
A nice
throne,
chair.
Yeah.
Got the good
Church.
seat.
The successor to the good seat would be sent out on a dangerous mission to deliver a mysterious note
With people that they had been really upset with the previous day.
that are expendable.
I don't want to make too much. I mean, we just met each other. I don't want to make too big of a deal about it. But the fact of the matter is, it's not a big surprise that I was sent to do this. We're not heading out as the reclaimers right away, and I know the area, and I want to support the township, but well, we'll make it a quick trip.
Should we get reinforcements? Like, do you think this is like really sus? Like, are you gonna get like murdered on this trip?
Oh no, not by these folks.
Perhaps the governor is simply testing not just our loyalty to the city, but perhaps yours as well.
I don't think it's a question of loyalty. There's something strange. I'll talk to my cousin about it when I see her again. Meanwhile, you guide the wagon onto the bridge and start the trek across this very long bridge. All along on both sides of this stone reinforced bridge, as you move, you pass by booths of different vendors trading various items, and lots of folk milling about and just crossing between the two hubs. The wagon moves you along at a pretty decent clip. Now, for everyone's edification, vehicle travel has a speed factor similar to other creatures. As a standing mark or measure, you're moving at about 16 feet per second per clip. If you were to increase the speed, you could increase it 8 feet per round to a maximum of 64. And that's regardless of the drive of the vehicle, whether it's driven by a creature or other means. So you can accelerate at 8 feet per round. You can decelerate at 16 feet per round.
And the gore can go as fast as 64 feet per round? Or
yes.
Per second?
Per turn.
Per turn, okay.
Per turn, yeah. That is pulling the vehicle and moving at max speed. The vehicle ostensibly facilitating the creature's ability to pull the load at that speed.
But would that be pushing the animal pretty hard?
That'd be its max. That would be its max, yeah. And
maybe not sustainable in the long term?
Outside of outside of anything that could enhance it. But they're they're a hardy animal.
Oh gosh. Hey Phantom, thank you for the gift sub.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right. You proceed along the bridge at a good clip. Is there anything else that you wanted to discuss as you proceed?
Are you nervous at all about becoming the governor? Seems like quite a bit of responsibility.
It's a long tradition now for the families. Oxalo has been around for several decades, several generations, and the responsibility exchanges between the two families. When one person steps down, the responsibility shifts to the other family, and it's an honor. I'm looking forward to it, actually. And I suspect my days will be coming at some point. I really appreciate the job that Governor Yalonk has done, and I'm sorry to hear that he was ill. I thought I was going to have to take the step sooner. I'm glad I've had more time to venture out and do more exploration and more recovery. I'm sorry your stone, she looks at you, Ode. I'm sorry your stone didn't go to you directly. We don't always know what to do with the things that we find. And
Well,
I guess maybe
it's
it
all right.
came
I've
out.
been looking for it for a while.
Yeah, I believe that makes a lot of sense. There are a lot of things to find out there. Just incredible things.
Well, and in a way, if you think about it, you did bring it back to her in a sense.
Yeah, I that's kind of what I was getting ready to say. If we hadn't returned it to the governor and you hadn't come here with Ela, it may have been a long time before you relocated it, if ever. I don't know. I find it fascinating that it was something you had a long time ago that you lost and then came back to find. I don't know how to say it.
Well, I can just feel it, like I can actually just tell where it is if it's near me.
That's neat. That's really cool. I like it. You proceed traveling on, and you cross the bridge in about half an hour and move through the north hub of Oxalo account, which is somewhat similar to the south hub, as you might imagine. But being that you are on a task, you continue pretty quickly through the north hub and out into the open plains. The wagon carries you along at a pretty good clip. It's a little better than walking, obviously. And at about the end of the second hour, up ahead, First Foundation, you would notice it first, and Gudla points it out. It looks like there's some sort of wreckage.
Are there any people standing about?
No people standing about.
I'm going to
scan
around just to see if there's any sort of people in need, or maybe people who are looking to do us harm.
Go ahead, then, and give me a call to roll body. First roll of the night.
Oh boy, 2 4s.
Wow.
Right out of the gate.
Brilliant.
That's a good start roll.
Yeah.
So as you take stock of what you're seeing here, you do not see anyone standing about. You don't perceive any hidden threat. You are able to make out that the wreckage is of a wagon, and that it looks like the gore that was pulling it, the carcass is there. You've already seen one gore carcass in the open, and you see another one now where it looks like where it fell. The wagon is toppled over, and whatever it was hauling appears to be spilled out. And with that roll, also, as you're approaching, it's pretty clear that it's probably been here more than today. And Gudla also says, I don't remember seeing that, but it doesn't look like it's fresh. Go ahead and pull up closer.
I'll do so.
You guide the wagon up, and perhaps pull it to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
What you see then is, this is a trade wagon, it looks like. There are a number of things spilled out. There's a wooden barrel that looks intact. There are bolts of fabric, a collection of look like finished but unadorned wooden staves that have toppled out all around the place. It looks like they're food goods, foodstuffs. There is raw quarry stone piled up. You don't see any humanoid corpses, just the gore, and the gore looks like it's been pretty well scavenged.
Why would they leave all this nice stuff here?
Gudla says, it depends on the nature of the accident. She hops down, looks around.
Is there any way to identify the owner of the cart? Any markings or...
She takes a look. Are the rest of you staying on the wagon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She takes a look. I don't see any. It could be any number of independent traders. They've got stone here, which probably was a big part of their wares. I see there's some nice fabric here. A number of staves. There's good food. Here, somebody come help me load some of this stuff up.
I'll tie the reins and off and jump down with Ode.
Yeah, it takes me a little while to like get down off the back of the wagon. But I'll toddle
Tosh will
over there.
stay in the cart.
Okay. All right, Tosh. So you stay put. The rest of you start collecting things. You collect a barrel, and you pop the cork on it, and it looks like it's a barrel of water, drinking water. There, the bolts of fabric. There are 4 bolts of fabric of various colors. That looks pretty nice. Probably a couple value there.
Take those.
Yeah, you gather 10 finished wooden staffs. And these are items that, would work as a rudimentary weapon, or were probably finished in order to be traded for enhancement. you are able to collect 9 days of rations in crates that look like they're the crates themselves. These crates didn't break. There are other crates busted open and the foodstuffs had fallen out and rotted. And then several hundred pounds of this quarry stone, which Goodless says, leave that for the, I don't know. First Foundation, your folks tend to find more use of that. I don't know that we want to spend half the day loading all this stone.
If it is there upon our return, perhaps we will gather it, but for now we may leave it.
Probably a good idea, just to save us time right now. So you spend about the better part of a half an hour loading the stuff up. Tosh, you're willing to slide the stuff into place, maybe stay put otherwise. All right, and then after that time, Goodless says, well, nothing else we can do here. We can report it when we get back, but we'll take the stuff with us and, see what we can do. See if we can barter it ourselves or see if we can find the owner.
That sounds good.
Yeah. She does look around and says, I don't know. It looks like an accident. I can see that it looks like the gore, maybe something hunted it down. And fortunately, I'm going to guess. And she looks back towards Oxalo. Then she looks into the distance. I'm thinking the driver might have gotten away.
Can I tell at all from the gore corpse? Does it have the same markings as the one that we battled around, or different?
That is going to be, give me a called roll. That one falls under lore.
Okay. No, I got a 3 and a 1.
Okay. Yeah, not exactly. It does. I mean, this one is more scavenged than the one that you had come across earlier. When you came across earlier, it looked like it was a more recent kill. This one has been probably eaten at by a lot of different animals over the time. It's hard to tell how long it's been as well, but it's starting to putrefy pretty substantially.
This smells terrible.
Good little laughs. Yeah, it does. They'll do that after a short time. So I'm ready to go if you're all ready to go.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe we should keep an eye out for maybe somebody walking by themselves.
I think so.
Or a corpse out in the wilderness somewhere.
Yeah. It just occurred to me, I should ask, but now that we're out here a ways, do you have the message that you needed to bring? I wanted to make sure that we've got that.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so you load back up and you start heading out again, and you travel for a few more hours, and so you're looking at this plain, and you do see great big old herds of gore in the distance, and they move along at kind of a regular rotation as they wander through. They feed on those grass stalks that you see all around, those purple and blue thick grasses, and this is one of their areas of substantial substantial habitation. As you are moving into the 4th hour, everyone give me a called roll body.
Okay.
But that's not what I'm good at.
One success.
Nope.
Okay, well, the two of you in the back of the wagon are not in as clear a position to see this.
Oh, crap.
Look out!
First Foundation and Gudla. Gudla is like, look over there, and First Foundation, you also see when she points, coming at a side angle at a 90 degree, you see two of, those bird creatures that the Goodwill Reclaimers rode into town? You see two of them what's the word I'm looking for?
Unbridled?
Unbridled, yeah. Just making a beeline for the wagon.
Oh.
And Goodless says, you better hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you snap the reins and the gore jumps into motion. So what we are doing now
Chase scene.
is we are jumping into a chase scene.
Yes.
And yeah.
Go away! Go away!
So our calculation for this chase scene is something that the seer takes care of on their own, but for everyone's, again, edification, it is a quick formula of taking the movement scale of the pursuer and subtracting the movement scale of the pursuee, and then dividing it by the size factor of the pursuer, which gives us a range between a positive and a negative number of about anywhere from, well, it could be from 16, which is just automatically the chaser's too fast to outrun, to a minus number where the chaser is going to have a hard time catching the object if they're even able to catch it. In this instance, you are currently moving at 16 feet, and the creature that is charging after you, they run, and then they leap another like 16 feet, and then they run, and they leap another 16 feet. They have a movement scale of 48 feet. So 48 minus 16 takes them down to 32. Their size factor is 8, so we divide 32 by 8, which is 4. At your speed, they're getting a +4 to their contested roll, which you cannot match. So you kick them into gear, and the gore picks up speed. These things are chasing. They have 4 rounds to catch you. So first round, you are now moving at 24 feet. 48 minus 24 is 24, divided by 8 is 3. So if someone would like to give me a D4 roll, if you roll a 4 and I roll a 1 with a +3 modifier.
Come on, Ode.
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Sure, do this first one.
All right.
Ode, my darling.
4.
Yeah!
I 2, which is the 5 for them. So they close in on you. They're running. They leap.
Now, could First Foundation hand the reins to Gouda and pull out his crossbow and take a shot to try to slow him down?
Sure, if you want to. You hand the reins over. Goodla takes them, and she's like, "No, that's probably a good call." And but she's also moved to position from down below on her side a nice long dual-headed scythe.
Oh yeah.
And Ode, when she pulls this thing more to prominence, you're feeling like an electrical energy to it.
Nice.
So your first round, the creatures gain on you. Second round, the gore increases speed to 32. 48 minus 32 is 16, divided by 8 is 2. Now I have a +2 modifier for my creatures. Let's do another contested roll.
Go for it, Tosh.
Let's do this. Rolling. Success.
Yay!
What's your total? What number did you roll? 4?
2 and 4.
It's only 1 die. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
Well, the first one's a 2, so fail.
Oh, no!
That is a fail because I rolled a 1, but it's a 2 modifier for my creatures, so that is 2 successes for them. They're closing in on you.
I'm gonna take a shot.
Get close enough. I would also like to try to do something.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's say that First Foundation, you are first since you spoke first, and Ode, you are second. Tosh, do you want to be third, or do you want Goodla to move into that spot?
I'll be third.
Okay. And Goodla is fourth.
I'm going to manifest on the bolt a net to try to like jumble them up as they're running and catch them in the net and have them sort of like topple over and crash.
Nice. Okay. So you want to give them sort of a restrained kind of.
Yeah, whatever that condition would be. I think it's restrained.
Immobilize.
Immobile. Okay, there it is. All right, and I'm gonna roll with both of my action dice.
Okay.
I got a 3 and a 2, but I'm going to use a primacy to push that 3 to a 4.
Okay. Now I do get one contested opportunity, a challenge roll. I got a 4.
Oh.
I got a 4, which means that as the bolt goes swooshing into him and you hit, the creature tears through it and continues its pursuit. These are big, strong creatures. And now, if you had rolled a natural 4, you could have bumped it to a 5, which would have then given you that. But because you had to bump it and I rolled a regular 4, they automatically avoid it.
This is going to be a problem. Is what you hear First Foundation call out.
Oh, what would you like to do?
I would like to. How high up are they?
I mean, how tall?
Well, they're flying, right?
No, they're ground. Yeah,
they're
they're like
ground. Okay.
They've got big straight. Remember the creature? Let me show you.
They're
I can show you.
leapers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I would like to do the sandstorm thing where I guess the tornado thing where I just whip them around.
Okay. You are looking at being able to affect an 8-foot area up to a 16-foot area. Let me look here, depending on your success. And these creatures are about 10 feet. So that is a good idea. Okay. So you are going to try to, you're doing a similar thing by trying to contain one, right? You can only target one of them given your area that you can influence.
Okay. I got one success.
Okay.
Nice.
If I bumped it up to a 5, would that do anything?
It wouldn't do anything unless I succeeded on my challenge.
Okay.
And I didn't.
Okay.
So, all right. So for
one whirly bird.
Yeah. One of them is swoosh. You get this thing and it catches up and the creature's like, you can see its like head swooping around as it just peeks up out of the top of this little tornado that you have thrown at it. And is there anything else that you're going to do?
No, that's all I could do right now.
So you can do, right? Okay. All right, Tosh.
All right. What I would like to do is I want to create. I want to kind of like gravity crush the earth behind us so that there's like holes in the ground. So if they don't jump properly, they'll like have loose footing.
Okay. So you want to just crush the ground and create kind of a slow for.
Yeah, I want to make it difficult for him.
Okay. All right. So that's all right. So go for it. So you go ahead and you can do 1 or 2 dice.
I'm going to use 2 dice because I have 9 points of primacy.
Ty, remind me, when you provide aid to somebody on their roll, which you can do out of your turn order, are you able to use manifestation?
No. The assist roll is a straight roll. Yeah.
Got it.
But I rolled a 4.
Hey, all right. So you rolled 2 dice, got 1 4?
Yep.
All right. So you crunch down the ground right in front of the next one that's chasing, which is attempting to catch up.
Sweet.
And as the ground condenses, that gives you an 8-foot sort of pit that you crush into the ground.
Ah.
And it stumbles over it. So as it's running, it just drops and it kind of leaps up. It like drops into the pit and then kind of bounces out, but it stumbles and loses some of its momentum. Which means now when I make my next chase roll, the creature's speed is halved, which means its 48 goes to 24, and now is a negative modifier. So nicely done.
Ah.
And then Goodla is driving the wagon. So what that means is now the speed bumps up to 32.
Our speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your speed's 32, and the attacker's speed is 24, which is a -8 difference divided, which is a 0 modifier. So this is the third round of the chase. The creature has 2 chances to catch you, and it's going to have this disadvantage this time. Who is rolling for your side?
I'll roll
It's
this time.
your turn.
So
Yep.
1 die.
Okay, here we go.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 1.
So did I, and I have no modifier. And the tie goes to the runner.
Yes.
So it did not catch you. It is trying. It's back there. You can see it like Jurassic Park style coming in on the Jeep, but it's not catching you. It's getting closer. That takes us to the top of the order again, and with that speed boost, and it is First Foundation. Your turn again.
All right. I am going to this time manifest a wall just right behind the cart.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm going to use.
And so
yeah.
your objective is
My objective here would be to. Let me bring up the thing. It's not immobilized. I guess it'd be kind of a crippling blow. So maybe a slowed condition. Like permanently slowed, like if they run into it, they damage their physical structure to the point where they're sort of, they're crippled a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to say, and they're already slowed because of that pit. So if you slow them again, we'll just cut their 24 speed down to 12.
Okay, let's do it.
Right.
I rolled 2 2s.
Okay, so does anyone want to assist on this one?
Sure.
All right, Ode. Yeah, because you haven't gone yet.
I haven't gone yet.
Yep.
So
it's 1 die.
That is a 1.
Okay. So because you rolled a 1, it costs you a primacy.
The power of friendship. I lost
Oh
primacy.
no. Oh.
However, First Foundation, unmodified to that roll, you get recovery.
And remind me what that means.
So that means that you can recover a spent primacy. You can recover an injury.
Okay.
You can add an armor factor up to a max of 4, or you can remove a status effect that's on you. Which you
I will gain back my primacy that I used.
Okay.
Yep.
So you try to summon this wall, and there's like just a poof in the dirt. Nothing materializes. Oh, it's like, you can do it. Oh, and
Guess
it just
not.
kind of fizzles. And that's your turn. So it takes us to Ode. And you get your dice back right there, Ode.
Okay. I would like to I'd like to try to cyclone that remaining guy.
Oh, okay. All right, go for the other one.
Okay. And you said I get my dice back, so I'm rolling 2?
If you want to roll 2 for this, yeah.
Okay. 2 2s.
Okay. Anybody want to assist on this one?
Can I, if I already went in this round, or am I not able to help?
You spent your dice cash, right?
I used both of them, both my action
So
dice.
you don't have one
Okay.
to assist.
Okay.
I will assist.
All right.
I am going to roll an extra d4. It shall be amazing.
Make it so.
And it's an amazing 2.
Oh, no.
3 2s.
Oh, these things are going to catch us.
Do you know what that means, people? Does chat know what that means?
I do.
Jackpot?
Manifestation event.
Manifesting event.
Yeah!
Yes, this is the first one we've had.
It is. As Ode attempts to cyclone the second creature, you all the wind together. You're trying to force it, and you're like, it's not working. And Tasha's like, you can do it. And there's this like this wall of energy that just slams the cart. It rocks a little bit. A wheel comes up. Goodla's like, what in the, and you tumble forth a little bit, and let us see what happened.
Oh my God.
I think it's good.
Is there a table in the book that you refer to with this?
There is. There's a manifesting event table.
That's cool.
And I'm definitely going to be expanding it, but it is. Oh, not good.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
That was Ode and Tosh, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mystery and element.
As this
Power of
energy goes,
friendship.
wham, you both get lightheaded and collapse unconscious into the wagon.
Okay, I was going to say hopefully into the wagon and not out of it.
They were in the back, so fortunately they were within the contained area. However, that lasts until the end of Ode's next turn.
Guys.
You see that both just, you hear a thump in the back of the wagon, and you look back, and they're both like passed out. Ode, you still get recovery for your first roll. So if you want to recover something, you can do that.
Sure. I'll get one of my
Spent primacy.
primacy.
Privacy!
And as that happens, the cyclone on the other one at the end of Ode's turn fades away. And that you see that creature shake its head and then pick up the chase, but it's back a little bit. Which takes us to Tosh, and you're passed out. So that takes us to the birds, and so they're trying to catch you still. They're not within range, which takes us to Goodla, who accelerates the wagon one more time to a speed of 40. The bird that was chasing is at 24. The other one is picking up at its full movement. So we've got two different scales here. So 24 minus 40, 16, it's a minus 2. One of them has a minus 2, and one of them, 48 minus 40 is 8. No modifier. So who's rolling for the wagon?
I think you're up,
unconscious,
Ode.
but
Oh, yeah.
single
Want me
D4.
to just roll one?
Yep.
Okay. Blood.
Oh, you rolled a 1.
Been rolling like fire today.
Yeah.
One and all that was going slowly has a minus 2 modifier. I rolled a 2, so it doesn't gain. The other one, I rolled a 3, and it is unmodified. It runs, and leaps in front, and the gore startles, and it stumbles, and Goodla's pulling on the thing, trying to keep the wagon from turning over, and it comes skittering to a screeching halt, and the bird stands there in front of you, and it looks like it's interested in the gore. But you are now engaged with these creatures, and the other one comes running up. That takes us to the top of the order. First Foundation, you are up.
All right.
Let me change our map real quick to a combat map.
Okay.
So let's get your characters on there. So if Ode and Tosh will put themselves in the wagon.
Oh my gosh.
And then First Foundation, you're next to Goodla at the moment in the driver's area.
Okay.
Okay, so here you go. You've got a brown and a green Andal on either side of your pinkish gore there, and they're like, caught our dinner. The wagon has stopped, and it is First Foundation's turn.
All right. So what I would like to do is take a shot with the crossbow at the pink bird creature. What are these called again? I'm sorry.
Andals.
Andal. The pink Andal.
All right.
And what I want to do is I want to manifest some sort of blinders, whether those would be made of like a wooden hood or a leather, probably like, you know how like people use raptors for hunting will have that leather hood.
Yep.
Basically, I want to manifest as the arrow hits, it sort of like morphs and manifests into one of those hoods.
Okay. You want to bereft it?
Yeah,
of sight.
bereft.
Okay.
And I'm going to use both of my action dice.
Okay. And since it's a status effect, I do get a challenge roll.
Okay. A 4 and a 3.
Ooh. Okay. So you could change that 3 to a 4, but I will tell you that I succeed on my challenge roll. So that means that you could change your 4 to a 5.
Mm-hmm. If that will allow me, I will use a primacy point to do that. Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and do that? Go ahead and do that, and we will bereft
Nice.
this creature.
Consider yourself bereft of sight.
Okay, we'll just do that. Okay, excellent. So, very good. Yeah. Bereft creatures cannot use actions requiring sight or hearing until the status effect ends. Attacks made against the bereft creature have decreased difficulty scale. And let's see now. That is anything else for First Foundation?
I think he will also jump out of the wagon towards that creature a little bit, just like down to the ground here.
Okay.
Yep.
Got
That's it.
All right. Tasha, you're asleep. Ode, you're asleep. And all right. So the bird that you just attacked, it's shaking its head, and it's got this hood on it, and it doesn't seem very impressed. It seems to be sensing the air and shaking its head, but it is not helping very well, and it starts to walk like awkwardly about 8 or 12 feet that direction, as it seems uncertain of where it's at.
That's a good outcome.
The other one, however, slips in and attacks the gore.
No. Not Jerry.
Did you already name him?
Yes.
And with that attack, the creature must spend a primacy to succeed. And what it does is it gets its front talons, which are, you can see there in the image, very long on its forelegs, and its legs are more mammalian than they are bird-like. And it slashes at the gore.
Gore him, Jerry.
And it really, the gore like lows out in pain. You can see that the claw initially doesn't penetrate the hide, but then it does rip through into the flesh.
Oh no, Jerry.
Jerry takes. No, Jerry's tough. Jerry takes 3 injuries. And like throws its head, but it's harnessed, and so it's got this wagon, and it's at an awkward angle. It being restricted by that. However, that is, the gore then takes another swipe. Oh, and hits Jerry again for 2 more. So it just whack, slashes on Jerry.
How's he looking?
I mean, he's tough.
Okay.
It's not great. He's got a nice injury there. A nice fillet on his left front shoulder. And he's moaning and lowing, and his eyes are wide, and there's saliva coming out of his mouth and snot coming out of his nose. And he looks like he wants to throw that horn into the bird, but it is Ela's turn. And Ela jumps down. Now check this out. She jumps down and runs over between Jerry and the bird with that scythe. And she swings the scythe at the bird. Now.
Wow.
Now, Ela, what can you do?
Goodla?
Or Goodla. Sorry, Goodla.
Ela number 2.
Yeah. Cousin Goodla.
Ela.
Oh, I know. I've got her stats in a special place. Yeah, she slides. That big old scythe blade and oh no.
Oh.
Does a terrible job. No. She slides it. She throws a primacy into it to get recovery. Does anyone want to help her? If you can. I can't because you're unconscious.
And I use both my dice.
Then you use both. So Goodla, you are down a primacy and you get back a primacy. However, she has more dice, so she can do it again. So she takes a second strike, swinging the other end of the scythe around, and uses a primacy to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And as she does, this electrical energy snaps when she strikes, and there's a spark that you see, First Foundation, or you hear it more than see it. And the Andal, they have a really shrill whistle. This one just like whistles up into the air. Goodla does, nice, 3 + 1 electrical damage to it. And because she hit it with her scythe, she gets a free second single die strike.
Whoa.
And she hits.
Is that a result of the weapon she's using, or is
it
that?
Is.
Ooh, I got to get one of those.
It is a well-crafted weapon. Oh, and she hits for 5 more.
Hello.
Wow. Yeah, and as she does that, the creature's just like whistling and screeching, and you can hear her like chuckle a little bit actually. And that takes us to the top of the round. Let's see. So Ode, you did your manifestation. The manifesting event happened. You all fell unconscious, and then we went through this round. So you two come to consciousness in the back of the wagon at this point.
Oh man, I had the best. Oh God, what's happening?
The wagon is stopped. You're looking up at the sky. You hear shrill whistling and the grunts of combat, and it is First Foundation's turn.
Now, does it look like Goodla has this Andal taken care of? Like it looks like she's got it covered, or?
So yeah, I mean, glancing down, it looks like she's stoved up, or she's facing off against this thing. There is
Jerry in danger? That's the big question.
With Goodla standing there, I mean, it just depends on what the other creature does if it attacks him. But Goodla is facing off against it.
All right, I am going to All right, so this one is going to continue the manifestation with the hood on the one that's walking away. I'm going to keep that going. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you get?
No, it did not work very well.
Okay.
But
All right.
I do have a reroll. I have an advantage.
You do. What did you roll?
I rolled a 1.
That's bad too. So if you want to use your reroll, you might want to do it now, or else you face.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So this is my fortune. And just so that the chat knows, if you want to donate bits, you can give us Fortune's favor points. But I'm going to re-roll. Come on. Not much better. I got a 2 this time. It's better than a 1.
It's better than a 1.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, you're not able to maintain that manifestation unless you want to try again.
I do have my other action die, don't I?
You do.
Yep. I'm going to try again.
Okay.
Feeling that manifestation energy kind of like waning, I'm going to be like, no, come on. 3, I'm going to use primacy to push it to a 4.
There you go. Okay. So you maintain that manifestation, that status effect.
Okay.
And that's
Wonderful.
your turn, yeah?
Primacy. Yeah.
All right. Ode.
All right. I want to know, can I change like air to fire or earth to fire? Is that something I can do?
So basically what you can do
Or
is
lava?
on your initial thing, you can just kind of do your attack.
Okay.
You can bring it forth. If the element already exists, and air is kind of more fluid on that regard, if the element already exists, that's when your elemental transformation comes into effect. So if there's a wall of fire and you want to drop it to sand or change it to water or make it wind, then you'd have to make that at a more an increased difficulty scale. But if you're just doing an attack, you can just pull it out of thin air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would like to lob some lava or fire at this bird creature.
Which one is lava attack?
So you pop up and you look around and you're like, there's one over to your right and it's stumbling around and it's got some kind of hood over its head.
Yeah,
and it looks confused.
That one's gonna be fine. The one that's real close to our friend Jerry.
Okay, so now here's the thing to keep in mind. You are talking, well, yeah, you can just target it or you can do it as an area effect, but your area is 8 feet anyway. So it's affected area or just targeted, and you're just raining down fire on this thing. You know, if you rolled really poorly, you might hit Goodla, but you're not going to roll poorly. Are you doing 1 or 2 dice?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't roll poorly. You're fine.
I got a 4 and a 3, and you know what? I'm gonna bump it up to double 4s.
You got it.
For primacy.
And these, like, what does it look like? What are you actually doing? Is it lava? Is it fire? Is it burning stone? What do you got going on?
I will say, so I'm just throwing it at him. Yeah, like it looks like I'm just throwing air, and as it leaves my hand, it begins to heat. And so it goes from, you can see it almost like a little comet, like begin to turn red and then redder and redder until it becomes a solid, like softball sized bit of lava or fire.
Okay. Nice. And you slam into it and it just spreads all over the form. Roll 2d4 damage for me and tell me if you want to slow it or hobble it.
Ooh. Okay, so I rolled 2 3s.
Ooh, nice.
And I would like to hobble it permanently.
So what that means then is that its physical actions are increased in difficulty. And does it also have a DS increases for all mundane physical actions taken by a hobbled creature until the status effect ends. This one is shrieking now. It's not just whistling. We'll just zap it. And it is hobbled. Okay, so anything else for Ode?
No, that's good.
All right, Tosh, you are up. You pop up.
Okay. Tosh pops up, looks at everything that's happening, and it goes, "Stop it!" and will attempt to blind the green thing by creating a portal over its face.
That void sight thing that you do. All right.
Void sight.
How many dice are you going for on this one?
All of them.
All right. And I do get a chance to challenge it.
Yep. I rolled the 4.
So did I.
Privacy!
Heck yeah.
All right.
I have so many.
All right. You void vision this creature, and Gudla's like, oh, interesting. And yeah, so you've got 2 creatures that have the same issue, except no, because First Foundation, your maintain failed. So this one,
no, I pushed it, I think, right? On my reroll.
Oh, you did.
It worked. Yep.
That's right. It didn't fail. Yeah. All right. Good deal. So that takes care of that. Anything else for Tosh?
That's all.
Awesome. Notice viewers at home, combat's kind of fast. Gudla, actually, yeah, these creatures are now, let's see where they go. This one wanders this way and gets really close to the wagon, right where Ode and Tosh are.
Uh-oh.
But you can see that it can't figure out where it's going.
Incoming!
This one steps forward and tries to walk into Gudla, who presses back and attacks it with that scythe. She's going to do 2 dice and got a 2-3, bumping the 3 to a 4 and striking the creature with 1 injury plus 1. And that, you just hear from whistling to air as Iker splatters on Gudla, and this one goes down dead. And she hops, boing, boing. Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. She zips around you, First Foundation, and uses her second attack and gets a 4.
She is formidable.
Yes, she is. And that's 2 damage on that one. And this time you do see that electrical snack as she strikes it. And she gets a second one because of her weapon. And she rolls a 3, which is all she needed because that creature can't see. And does 3 more. So now this creature is injured and screeching around. And that takes us to the bottom. We want to take our break here. We're a little bit past halfway. Or do you want to finish the combat round?
Let's finish this off.
All right. It is First Foundation's turn.
I will step up next to Gudla and say, I need to get one of those weapons that you have. Quite impressive. And then
They're pretty expensive, but they are
he will
impressive.
take a shot at this creature. And I think I'm gonna let the manifestation of the hood drop. What I'd like to do with this one is I'd like to take a shot and manifest the bolt turning into like a cloud of bolts coming down at the same time.
Okay.
Onto the Andal.
Uh-huh. So this is like an affected area
Yeah.
as these things rain down, which again, that's an 8-foot to 16-foot area you can affect depending on how well you roll. So you're enhancing that attack.
Right.
You're manipulating the technology. We're actually changing that to to manipulate technology, I think, or something like that. But so what that means is that you are attacking at a decreased difficulty for that attack.
Sweet.
If you succeed, so you're changing. So you need to make 2 rolls though, because you want to actually change the bolt. However, the creature can't see until the end of your turn, which means you already have a decreased difficulty scale against it. So you might want to save that.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because it doesn't. So could I somehow manifest so to increase the damage output?
That's what the way that we rule it is. You actually decrease the difficulty scale, which increases the chance to roll damage dice on a 3 or 4.
But I already have that, is what you're saying.
You already have that because of the
Okay. All right. Well, then that would be unnecessary to do, but still,
So you can
kind of cool. All right. Well, I'll save that.
Cool,
I'll save that one for next time. I'm gonna take the shot then.
Okay.
Yep.
2 dice or 1.
2, and I rolled a double 2.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody want to
Oh.
assist, or do you want to reroll, or are you going to take the recovery?
I do not have a reroll available.
You don't, but you can spend primacy.
Push it with primacy to a
You
3.
could push it to a 3, but you can also spend 2 primacy to reroll one of your dice, or spend 4 primacy and reroll both.
Oh my god, this is like gambling. Suddenly. How many primacy to reroll both? 4?
4.
Oof, no, I can't do that. I'll be down to 1. All right, I'm going to. If I push it to a 3, is that enough to hit it?
Oh, it is. You're right. It is.
Yep. Yes. So I'm just gonna push it once, and I'm gonna get push it to a 3 so I can hit it, do some damage.
You got it.
And what do I roll for damage?
Oh, I'm sorry, D4.
Thank you. Of course, D4. 3 points of damage.
Very nice. Okay, yeah. So thunk, you hit it, and you roll 2 dice, so that's your dice.
Yep, that's my action.
Anything else? Okay. Very good. Then we go to Ode.
All right, I'm gonna join in the fun and whip around and throw one of these heated fastballs right at our.
Oh, so cool.
Got it.
I got double 3s, but I'm gonna.
You don't need to roll. You don't need to change it because it can't see. So your attacks are at a decreased difficulty scale, which means you get 2 things. You don't get to slow it or hobble it because you roll 3s, but you do get recovery plus the 2 dice of damage.
Okay. I will take a primacy, and I rolled 3 total damage.
Okay.
1 and a 2.
All right. It's adding up. So you throw that lava ball and it splashes across the thing and it burns through the feathers on its body and into the flesh. And it, First Foundation, you and Goodlick can smell, the searing of flesh, and you see this thing get hit, and it's like it can't see, and it's just actually it can just see now because the manifestation of the blindfold ended, and it is starting to size up its next target. And anything else for Ode?
Ode is gonna pop down below the edge of the wagon since they're very short.
You got it. Tosh.
Tosh is going to try to cause a void to pop in their head. He's gonna stare right into that thing's guys. Just open a void in their head. It's a void.
So this is a damaging attack. Yeah. All right. What'd you get?
Uh-oh.
A 1 and a 2.
What happened to our rolls?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a primacy to bump that 1 up.
Okay, you can do that.
And so it's just a regular fail versus an epic fail.
But you get recovery.
I get recovery?
Yeah. Double 2s or double 3s.
Yay!
So it's a win.
So you can get back your
Nothing
one.
happens.
You can get back to spent primacy. You can get back an injury scale if you've gotten an injury. You can increase your armor factor, or you can remove a status effect.
I've been using primacy to get a primacy back.
Yeah, you got it.
Lovely.
I
All
still
right.
have a dumb amount of primacy left.
Well, you say that now. As the creature then sizes up its target, it goes 1, 2 for First Foundation, or 3, 4 for Goodla, and of course I rolled a 2. First Foundation, it swings its claw at you.
A duck.
I rolled a 4-1. You do have armor factor, am I right?
Yep, I do. I have an armor
Okay.
factor of 2.
Okay. You get hit. Your armor factor absorbs 2 points and is temporarily damaged and not effective. However, it stops you from taking the full brunt of that strike, and you take 1 injury.
Okay.
And then the creature takes its second strike.
Oh.
Well, I rolled a 3. I will spend a primacy of it to bump it to a 4. And it hits you again.
Now, out of
This
curiosity, I don't have an action die left because I used them both. But if I had saved one, would I have been able to do like a dodge or some? Would I have been use my action die to sort of reduce it more? No.
No.
Okay.
The only thing that the extra action die can be used for is to assist someone else.
Got it. Okay. All right. How much more damage do I take?
2.
Ooh, oh, ouch. Oh,
Crunch. Oof. And then it takes us to Ela. And Ela's like, step back. She rolls 1 die.
Isla.
Goodla. I keep saying the wrong thing. Goodla. And misses. She uses her second 2 dice because she's got 3. That is a hit. That gives her 4 and a 4. Goodla does 7 points of damage to this thing. And it goes down in a heap.
oh, thank God.
In a whistling scream, it falls down all 9 feet of it and collapses onto the ground dead. And whew, some of you damaged, others none the worse for wear. She spins the scythe around, slags the blood off of it, and leans onto it, catching her breath, and looks over at you. First Foundation, you all right?
Not entirely.
Sorry. Let's see if we can do something about that.
I should be able to maintain. Now, can I repair myself?
You don't need, you repair, you heal.
Okay.
So it would be normal healing.
Okay.
That was something that we looked at earlier, and it became a little bit too much to track.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So maybe we take our break here, and when we come back, you can harvest, and then we can move on.
Yes, we have much to harvest. Awesome. Hey, folks, don't forget, we've got a giveaway. If you want to get in on this action, ! drawing, giveaway details are in the chat. Thanks to Adventure Slang for generously donating a digital copy of the core rulebook. Ty, thank you so much.
You bet.
And we'll be back in just a few short minutes. And we are back. Hello, folks. We're back.
Hello. Yeah. So yeah, I want to take off. I'll say the stuff. Enter the drawing, please, if you are interested to have a chance to win this core rule book. Anybody who goes and onto our website right now can get the beta rules, and that, as large as that document is right now, does not cover everything by quite a long shot. But you can get an idea about how the rules work. The mechanics are all there, and start to play around with it if you think this is something that you would enjoy. And if you like role-playing games, why not? In addition to that, if you sign up and follow us on our mailing list, you automatically, once you verify your email, become eligible or get 8 tokens representing each one of the primary cultures and a 15-image asset pack for your virtual tabletop experience. So that's just a freebie for following us for updates and news on progress with the Nuovarden game, which we hope to have come out next year. And next year is almost here. So
coming up fast.
Yeah, it did. We just, one other thing. So chat, you can use those bits, as Dave mentioned earlier, to help the party with rerolls, but I believe there's also one in there for giving back 1 primacy point. Mm-hmm. And I think there's also an option for giving back all the primacy, right?
Yeah, those are in the channel points. Mm-hmm. Let me just double check. I have that list right here. Primacy recharge, which is if you have channel points, 1,000 channel points, that will essentially provide 1 primacy point for 1 player of your choice. And then there is there's a manifesting event. I forgot about that. For 12,000 channel points, and some of you have that. You can trigger a manifesting event like we had with Ode's manifest attempt there that knocked everybody out. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
That was classic. Yeah, manifesting event, that's the convergence of the energies all at once that come together and create some random effect that is about 50-50 good or bad. And this one didn't work out so great for the party, but they recovered and survived. And speaking of surviving, you now stand there on the plains with the defeated creatures that try to eat your gore. You have a poor creature wounded that pulls your wagon, and then you have these large bird-like creatures, large enough to ride, and they are used by various folks to ride, but these were wild. They were trying to eat the gore. That didn't work out too well for them. It didn't work out all that well for the gore, and it didn't work out well for some of you. However, you can attempt to harvest some of their stuff and get a little bit of value out of it if anyone wishes to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So anybody who's interested, go for it. Give me a lore called roll lore.
God, my rolls are terrible. I'm getting new dice. A 4 and a 2 and a 1.
Okay, so beyond the obvious first foundation, you didn't do too hot. Anybody else?
4 and a 1.
4 and 1. Okay, Tosh. And Ode, were you?
I got 2 2s.
Okay.
Actually, can I use one of my rerolls? Try one of those?
If you want to, it might not be worth the value that you're going to get out of it.
Okay.
Because you're just getting animal parts. So what I will tell you, Tosh, you're able to remove one of their beaks, and their beaks are serrated, so they make good trade value for improvised weaponry that you can trade, and then people can turn that into weapons. So you're able to get one of those, and that has a value of 1. And then between Ode and First Foundation, you collect 3 talons and 2 tail feathers, which give you a total value of a half each. So 2.5 value in talons and tail feathers from an Andal. And then, Tosh, you also gain, you get 2 talons and 4 tail feathers for a total value of 3 more. So I don't know how, so Ode and First Foundation, you'd have to figure out if you want to divide the 2.5, how you want to do that.
Got it.
Happy to divide it up however is appropriate, Ode.
Tosh is rich.
Well, I don't know. You want to hold on to it?
Yes, of course. You don't have any pockets anyways.
I mean, I have like a little bag, but it's like stuffed full.
All right, so what am I holding on to? Remind me.
3 talons, 3 tail feathers with 2 total value.
3
2 talons and 3 tail feathers. Was it 2 and 3 or 3 and 2?
2 and 3.
You told me 2 and 3.
2 talons, 3 tail feathers.
With a total value of 2?
2.5, because each one
2.5.
is worth
All
a
right.
half.
Got it. Okay, cool. We got so much
And
value.
Tosh, yeah, Tosh, you got 4 value total between all the stuff that you just got.
Yes.
So
Plus,
just out
you
of
can,
curiosity,
like, make that beak talk.
Tosh throws it in the back of the wagon and Ode's over there playing with it.
Hello, Tosh.
So I'm hearing that you have a lot of value. Does somebody want to tell the audience how much value you're carrying? And when we talk about value, so all the parts and all the equipment, all the stuff that you carry around has a value range typically between about a half and 4, and then it goes up from there. But who's feeling rich? What do you think is rich for value?
I think Tosh is carrying pretty good. I have the beak and the talon feathers for 4. And then I have that black patch that I got from Beryl. I have a extra robe, an XE robe.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 2-man tent, a blackwood staff, a navy
Dang.
lens, and some rope.
Dang.
So I don't know, what is that? That's estimated, I don't know, 15 value or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So by comparison, Gudla's weapon is probably somewhere in the area of a 20 value.
So
That thing is sweet.
so close to being able to afford that weapon. I don't need it. But I'm
Ty,
so close.
so I know that there is a mechanic in your game for crafting items out of other items.
Yep.
I have a gore hide, a gore horn, some black smudge lichens. Not that those pertain to my next question, but can I craft or have someone craft for me some of that armor that Gudla's wearing?
Okay, so in order to give it that persistence, yeah, we would negotiate all the components that you would need for that, and mundane components alone aren't going to necessarily give you that persistence.
Okay. There's a manifestation element to that.
There is a manifestation, so it's a 2-step process. It is a lore roll to create the design, and then if you succeed on the design, then you roll technology on the crafting table for the outcome.
Okay.
So if you can get the design, you could go straight to the craft. If you don't have the design, you can make the design and then go to the craft. And then you can get a crafting kit, which decreases the difficulty scale, but you can only craft up to a certain value. And that persistent armor might be out of that range of value. So that's when you'd have to go to like a Wotanla
Okay.
and then pay them to make it for you.
Okay.
But it is possible to get it or find something like that. But you've got to get enough of the components, and then you have to pay the value on top of that to get it made.
And would that, if that were to happen, would that stack with the armor factor of that I already have? Like, could I design it to be part of what I'm already wearing for my armor?
Oh, so you'd want your armor that you have to be enhanced like that?
Yeah, with that consistency factor.
Persistence.
Persistence.
So the persistence wouldn't build your armor factor. It would make your armor factor persist so that as soon as it took damage, it wasn't broken until you fixed it again.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I know you do. Good luck, pal.
There's definitely a way to do it, but you'll have to find enough stuff and then pay the price.
Yeah.
Or find it. Yeah.
The ultimate price. Yep. Okay. Got it.
All right. Cool. Okay, so you gather the parts. Goodla is able to grab the other beak and a few more talons and feathers, throw them into the bundle. That goes into the wagon, and you pick up and head off on your destination once more. Get our ox moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on you go. Back to
Good job, Jerry.
Poor Jerry. Jerry's.
Does Jerry need any, can we heal him or anything? Because he took some blows.
Medical attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think the only one among you who is capable of offering any sort of manifested healing is Tosh.
Hey, Tosh. Could you help Jerry? He took a couple
real bad.
Yeah, he took a couple of hits.
Jerry looks Jerry's adorable.
Yes.
Don't say bad things about Jerry.
He's a wonderful, dependable, trustworthy creature who got hit by those end-all talons.
Trying to eat him.
Oh. Okay. And Tosh would just kind of crawl over the cart and get on the little seat, crawl over First Foundation and then reach out to touch Jerry.
All right.
And we'll heal them.
Squeeze between First Foundation and Goodla. All right, so you can make a called roll. In your case, you can make a called roll mystery. You can only try it once because we're out of combat. But see if you can help poor Jerry.
I rolled a 3 and a 2, but I'll use primacy.
You have so much primacy.
I have so much primacy. I will use it to heal Jerry.
So you can roll a d4 for that healing.
Jerry's back, baby.
Yeah.
Let's see how much he gets back.
1d4, 3.
Okay. All right. So for the most part, Jerry's wounds heal up. There's a little bit of scabbing and maybe a little bit of weeping, but overall, Jerry's pretty much back to form. And on you go to your direction.
That was amazing, Tosh. You healed Jerry.
Mm-hmm. It's very helpful when people try to hurt you.
You carry on overland for a couple more hours, and at one point you come across a stack of boulders. They're not. It doesn't look like they were deliberately put there. They're just sort of naturally part of the landscape. But you see some more of that black lichen growing on them. If anyone is interested,
I recognize that growth form. If you don't mind, I'll collect.
Goodla's like, oh, definitely. Yeah, collect that stuff up.
Do you know what this black smudge lichen is?
I know that some people know how to turn it into some sort of medicine.
Oh. Well, then let's collect it and save it for when it's needed.
I agree. All right, First Foundation, if you want to give me a called roll and see how well you do.
Okay. 4 and a 2.
Beauty. All right. You collect 4 doses of this stuff. So 4 applications, which means in crafting, it can be used for 4 applications or 4 purposes.
Sweet. And that's on top of what I had from before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And though that stuff is a value of 4 each.
Oh my.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to get a spreadsheet going, Ty. You didn't mention that I'd have to use spreadsheets.
Check your third sheet on your character sheet, your digital character sheet.
Yes, we have form fillable.
You should have a whole
Thank you.
crafting page there.
Yep, thank you.
You also have recovery options listed on the second page for those who keep wondering what the heck recovery actually gives you. I believe it's on the second page.
It is. It
So-
is on the second page.
Having collected your lichen, you get back on the wagon and head further on. So at this point, you're probably a good 8 hours into the day, about halfway point before the darkening, and you've got, it seems, plenty of time according to the encouragement that good luck keeps throwing your way. A couple more hours pass by, no encounters, just watching the wildlife in the distance. Occasionally, certain birds fly over. You may see coruscantans flying through the area here and there, which gives you some cause for concern, but they don't seem to worry about you. Periodically, andals, you can, now that you know what they are, you see them wandering among the gore herds, kind of Serengeti style, these different animal forms out there. You may even catch sight of a pride of kukharel stalking across the ground and watching as other animals pass by or teaching their cubs how to hunt. Kukharel, does anybody know what a kukharel is?
No.
Why don't we just for funsies make a lore roll and see if anybody has any idea?
Rolling.
4. I got a success.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Okay. I got a 4.
All right. So Gudla's like, oh, Kukharel. And she points across, and Ode, you and First Foundation, you look and see these cat creatures. Tosh, you're looking, but you can't see what they're all pointing to and what they're looking at. But you see these lion-like creatures. Think of a mountain lion as the base form with, it looks like they've got saggy skin between their forelegs and their back legs. It's still covered in fur, but it seems to gather there sort of like a blanket. And then they have long quills at the end of their tails. And so Gudla's like, those are kukharel.
Dangerous.
And they can be dangerous. They can sling those quills from a distance. But you should see them from a height, because when they leap from the height, they glide. And it's impressive. If you've ever had one come at you, it's not as fun.
Are they native to this region?
Yeah. They definitely, you'll find them between here all the way up to the mountain peaks. Not as common in the bogs. Very common out here on the grasslands. They den out here as often as in the mountains. So I'm not surprised that we see them. And those are, look, they're teaching their cubs. And you see the little ones trailing along behind the bigger. The bigger ones are like 8 feet long from nose to tail. And then the smaller ones, then, of course, cub size. But you proceed on across the plain. Another few hours, into your 10th hour now of travel, you are well past Akshalo. And ahead lies a hive of activity. Numerous figures move about, rearranging stores, reinforcing structures, and the like. And Gudla's like, there we go. This is where we're headed. I don't know if I should do this, but I know that the party had briefly considered reading the note before you got there. If you were going to do that, now's the time. Otherwise, you are approaching your destination.
Is there a seal on the note that would inhibit us from repackaging it inconspicuously?
There's no seal. In fact, it's only tied by a leather thong or cord.
Do you think we should read that note? I mean, like, what if it's something important?
Well, it must be important if we've been hired, but it's possible that it has to do with, well, good luck. It's possible it has to do with you or with us.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious what's in there.
Let's read
I
it.
feel sort of bad about it, but I kind of think it's sort of like my business, right?
It's
They
all
didn't
of
say
our
we
business.
couldn't read it.
That's true.
That's good to know.
You found what's called in the Wotan culture a loophole.
I'm good at that. Also good at technically.
Technically, do we know how to read?
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Recall that the language, the common language, is shared by all cultures. It's the old Lamplack that's not as familiar to everyone.
Well then, he procures
Who wants
the
to read it?
scroll.
All right. If you look in your
Here-
handouts, you can see hopefully a message for delivery under the. You see it?
Oh my.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Go ahead and
Should I
that
read it
for us.
out loud?
Yeah, please do.
Stone Shaper. Events continue to improve here, as I trust they do for you. The Reclaimers tell me your resource collection continues, which I trust serves your purpose as best I understand it. I would like to call on you to engage the next step in our agreement, given the timing of my improvements and the success reported on your behalf. I would like to begin construction at the earliest, and have prepared resources for your people as previously discussed. We progress, my friend, and through our alliance may both yet fulfill the objectives of our intent. Yours in trust and governance, from the seat of Akshalot. P.S. Please accept these envoys as my representatives and encourage them in their duty for their well-being as much as any.
It's really cryptic.
Definitely doesn't sound like it's intended to communicate too much. Obviously, they both know what the plan is.
Yes.
I wonder what the next step of their agreement is. Would you be privy to such knowledge, good luck, given that you are the next in line for the good seat?
I wish. I don't know Stone Shaper, and I don't know the plans that the governor would have had with others at this point. It's not. Currently, I'm the leader of the Goodwill Reclaimers here in this area. And so I have enough going on with that responsibility. It also puts me in a bit of a risky position to know too much about my future post because I'm gone and back so often. So no, unfortunately, I'm as mystified as you all.
Yet resource collection of the Stone Shaper continues. Stone Shaper. Stone Shaper. Do I know
That is
this?
a name you know. You know this name recently, First Foundation.
Yes.
And things are starting to develop in your memory about what you're doing.
Stone Shaper. I know this name.
It says Stone Shaper is a Wotanla who's been out here for, as far as I know. I didn't know of their presence until over the last year, and I have not interacted with them a lot, and they move around a lot. But I don't understand your culture as well as I'd like, so I'm sorry if I...
No, it is difficult to understand some from without the purpose of them. This one, well, I have much to think about.
Well,
is there anything in terms of this name? Is it a name that I have heard before, used in a specific context? Or is it just a name I would recognize as their duty, their purpose?
Stone Shaper, it would be first and foremost their duty, which they then use as their name to communicate to others who don't, outside the culture, as you do as
Right.
First Foundation.
Yep.
But the other issue is that, this is the individual you're supposed to collect information on, where they're at, what they're doing, and then bring it back to the defenders of the tower.
And that information and realization just kind of washes over me in a moment. Okay.
Yeah. All that confusion and curiosity about what you're actually looking for just comes to you as an epiphany.
Well, we must deliver this message to the Stone Shaper then. And I would be curious, my companions, to learn more of this cryptic nature. I feel almost compelled to learn this knowledge.
I'm
That's
a little
good.
confused as to the duty that we're going to have, because I thought our duty was just delivering this message, but it sounds like there's more to it.
That may well be, Ode. We must be open and search for recipes. Isn't that right, Tosh?
Yes. Also, wasn't there someone else out here that we were supposed to talk to? I think the bard lady told us about somebody. Is that not Stone Shaper?
You mean the lady that tells the future? That one that can guide you to stuff?
Oh, that's different. Sorry.
She was like 2 days out of the city. That's what I thought, right?
And we're pretty far out of the city.
I'm not sure.
Actually, it
if we're
was
in the right
4
direction.
hours.
4 hours.
Never
So you're-
mind. We're
Oh,
Oh,
we
the
can ask
wizard.
her.
Well,
The Oracle, you're talking about the Wizard of Chonlock Hollow.
Yes, that one.
that name.
however, they were south. They were on the south side.
So not only is this the wrong person, but we're nowhere near them.
But we can keep that on the list of things to do.
And now
Questions
you're getting
to ask.
quite close. Having paused just a moment to read the note before restoring it to its pocket. And as you approach, you get a better look at what folks are doing. And as I said, they're reinforcing structures. They are rearranging, moving things about. Grinding stones throw sparks, and a small forge billows smoke into the air. Stacks of lumber and stone-laden numerous wagons and stacks of lumber and stone laden numerous wagons and form piles around the internal yard. A livestock pen holds several gore. A low wall provides some defense, and 2 towers, some 20 feet tall, provide watch across the broad plain. 2 watchers keep post at the top of each tower. As you draw closer to the low palisade, 6 Wotan move out to greet you. As they approach, you see their bodies covered in bronze plates and stone pauldrons. 3 of them carry crossbows, and 3 of them carry short bronze swords and wooden shields. One of the sword bearers also carries a bow in one of its 4 hands. First Foundation, this is clearly not standard Wotan disinterest. This camp seems on alert and defensive.
Is there like a general Wotan sort of greeting? Like a standard greeting that they have to one another?
It kind of depends on the scenario. If you're at the tower, there's a lot more formality. Out in the open, there's a general acknowledgement. So usually you're the idea is that you're all kind of in this together. So the way that you're being approached by this little vanguard is unusual.
Hail, Wotan, in service to the tower.
And as you approach them, I assume you stop the wagon, and they stand before you. And then the one with the 4 arms and the bow steps forward and says, "We do not welcome strangers."
Well,
wait,
we are
let me
not strangers.
Let me
I am
define
First Foundation.
This one is it wears a black hooded cowl and cape with a black waist fabric that forms a sort of skirt around its 3 legs. Copper fasteners glimmer against the fabric. They have a bronze faceplate that offers virtually no facial features. Just a plate over their face. Carry the bow, sword, shield, and wears heavily modified armor of metal plates and stone pauldrons. And they say, "What do you want?"
This one wants nothing more than to fulfill its purpose, as do us all. We are here, its friends, and this one, to deliver a message to the one called Stone Shaper.
This one and these needs to know why you need to deliver a message to the great Stone Shaper.
We have been tasked, my companions and this one, to deliver a message to Stone Shaper from the governor.
Of where?
Of Lakshao. Akshalo, thank you.
Just a little pop up.
Dave forgets sometimes the names of crazy places, but
It's okay.
First
We've only been
Foundation
there
doesn't.
for like 3 hours, and then we got thrown in jail, so we saw
From
the inside of the jail
Lakshao.
cell.
The one that you're speaking with says, "For your companion's sake, I may be referred to as level set. Follow this one and these." And the 5 who have not spoken kind of make way for the wagon, and then level set turns and moves towards the entrance to this compound. And as the wagon moves forward, they follow on either side. And it's fallen more back now into a little bit more of that familiar dismissive disposition that the Woden typically have. As you enter the compound, First Foundation, you can't help but notice the modular design of the structures. Clearly, everything is meant to be easily disassembled and reassembled for transport and quick setup. The numerous wagons and the low-end gore further indicate the transient nature of the community. You guide the wagon in, and then level set points where you can park it. And then they wait for you to dismount.
Does First Foundation get a sense of, given the purpose of the individuals they met, this vanguard, this sort of like status of alert, does that permeate as we're moving into a deeper portions of the settlement? Does it permeate? Or is there still this high level of concern?
There's a high level of observation.
Okay.
In line with what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guards at the top of the towers, they look down. The individuals moving things around do swivel their heads and look.
Mm-hmm.
So far, everyone here appears to be Wotan.
And do they appear to have purpose?
They're all serving different functions, from crafting to building to repairing to moving stores and tending to the livestock and repairing the wagons. And
what you would expect from a Wotan community, but maybe a little bit higher alert status?
It's semi-militaristic, which also makes you think of the defenders of the tower. but there's no tower. The tower's nowhere near here. So there's,
It's far to the north.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's sparking in your mind like the nature of any visitation you have with Stone Shaper. You need to be careful not to, say the wrong thing. But you're also trying to determine what information would be of value.
I'm constantly head swiveling, cataloging, different armaments and sort of defensive capabilities of this place and analyzing it, to against what I would understand to be, the strategy is not the right word, but sort of like the standard operating procedures of the Wotan in other places that I know of.
Yeah, this one is again, so given the modular nature of the construction, it looks like it's temporary and that they build it, and however long they stay, they can easily pack it up and move it again. And Goodla said as much. They don't stay in one place for all that long. And then they've got those towers, and they're just like, and they can see for miles. The fact that they've got them means that they're vigilant. They're very much in a defensive arrangement with efficient mobility. And no doubt if they had to defend the compound, there's plenty of weaponry and armor and things like that that they have because they make it.
And they likely saw us from a great distance as we approached. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just sort of first one I just kind of turn to Goodla, and have you visited this compound before then?
She shakes her head. I've not. There was no reason. We have sent envoys. I haven't personally approached them at all. We have sent envoys when we found things we think they can use and told them where to find them. Any ruins that didn't seem to have anything else that we could claim. They collect stone and wood and things like that.
Yes, of course. Your relationship with these Wotan is good.
It's fair. We would count on them to give us information as well.
Very
Sometimes they know the herd movements and things like that. So if we need to hunt or if we need to stay out of the way or, when we're out here, but
we shall maintain that relationship status. We shall fulfill our duty to the governor. We shall keep our ears open for new recipes.
So some distance with compound, between the canvas tents and half-constructed buildings, a figure in royal blue approaches with an entourage of no fewer than 10 guards, all Wotan. And I will show the players an image of this individual in Roll20.
And I also have it up on the screen here for viewers.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it just like wires underneath the metal plate?
It's actually wood. It's wood grain.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, visitors, says the one in blue. This one and these welcome you on your errand. I am Stone Shaper.
Greetings. This one and these have traveled from Oxalo with message from the governor.
Ah, what is that message? Before you tell me your message, what do your companions call you?
This one is called First Foundation.
Ah, First Foundation. First Foundation, I am Stone Shaper. Like you, I was there on the first day. It is my privilege to meet you.
Likewise.
of this message you said from Daram Yolonk, the governor?
Indeed. And he procures the bound cloth scroll and hands it to Stone Shaper.
The Wotan level set steps forward and takes it, and then keeping some distance between you and Stone Shaper, holds it actually. And Stone Shaper says, well, if you're in no hurry to leave, your companions may establish a camp on ground here for the night. The darkening is only a few hours away, and we're not really near anywhere suitable for the majority, if not the whole of you. And Gudla says, that would be the most appreciated. If I may introduce myself, I am Gudla Nalnik. I am the leader of the Goodwill Reclaimers in this region. And Stone Shaper says, oh, yes, of course. We have had many interactions with your scouts and have always appreciated the relationship we have with the Goodwill Reclaimers. And we thank you for your information and the ability we have for our two peoples to exchange that sort of thing. And then she just smiles and looks to the ground. She says, over there? And Stone Shaper's like, that would be fine. Stone Shaper says, if there's nothing else, please enjoy a rest and a recovery. And should you need anything, you can ask anyone. I will review the governor's message, and if I have any reply before you leave, I will be sure to deliver it before you go.
If Stone Shaper finds a moment to engage in conversation, this one would be interested in speaking with you more, if time allows for such dialogue.
Stone Shaper turns their head a little bit and says, this one will send for this one. And then turns and is led by the entourage back deeper into the camp. All the rest of you set up and take a load off after your fight and after the bumpy, uncomfortable 10-hour ride to this compound. As you're setting up camp and looking about, the only other individuals that you see besides Wotan are what looks like a small handful of Lenai who appear to be gathered together in one little designated part of the compound. There are 3 of them, and they are huddled together, and they kind of squat down like kids. And at the moment, you see them playing some sort of game where they've made a ring of stones, and then like one of them makes fire, and then the other one puts it out with water, and then one of them makes fire and then put it out with water, and then the other one rearranges the stones. It looks like they're just keeping themselves entertained, and keeping to themselves.
Real quick, thanks for the raid, Prometheus 2128. We really appreciate you. And hello, Bleak Season. Thanks for the cheering. We've got some advantages incoming from the Bleak Season. Hello.
Yes. Welcome. Thanks for the raid, Raiders. And good to see you, Bleak Season.
Do they, I mean, they're just hanging out and they look fine. They're just bored.
Yeah, they're definitely not running around being into things and things like that. It seems like they've gotten a message about what behavior is here that is clearly uncharacteristic for them, but they're obviously doing something here that requires them to entertain themselves.
Okay. Since all Lenai are family, I'm just gonna like run up and be like, hey, I'm shaking.
And so there's a predominantly red. So the Leni have a predominant body color, and then they have different aspects to them, and they all have striations of the other colors of the elements. So you see one that has the red coloration, you see one that has blue coloration, and then the one that has gray coloration like you do, and then their striations and affectations. But as you go running in, they kind of half stand up because they're all squatting down, and then they look a little bit guarded. And you go running in and they're like, hey, and they're giving off a little bit of a surly vibe that's not necessarily directed at you, but they're not like, oh, we might know each other. They're like, oh, how come you're here?
Oh.
Are you here? Are you gonna work here too?
Oh, did we meet before? You know, I've forgotten a lot of stuff.
You know, you look kind of familiar. The gray one's like, you look familiar, but I saw my reflection in the water, and so I think I've seen me before, like you. So I don't know if we know each other, but we might. Maybe we do, and a little bit of that natural Leni enthusiasm starts to peek out.
Well, what are you guys doing here?
Well, we're helping them because they need our help helping them.
Well, that's very nice of you.
Yeah, and it's okay. It works for us. We're just hanging out here all the time, and we've been hanging out for a long time, and we haven't found a lot of other people. We haven't found a lot of others of us. So, and the red one's like, yeah, and then they want me to find a whole bunch of me, and I don't even know what that means. Like they talk about they have funny names and stuff. So we're just kind of bored.
Well, like, what do you do all day?
Well, and the red one, like, I like to make fire the most, and the blue one's like, I put out the fire because all I can do is water. I can do ice, and I can do water. I could do it really good, but I can't do fire. So we play a game, fire and water, and then the other one's like, I build the stones mostly. Sometimes I do fire too because I like to jump in front and do fire because Pinroll does fire all the time. And Pinroll doesn't have to do fire all the time. And Pinroll's like, I don't have to do fire all the time, but I like doing fire. And then the other one's like, yeah, I can only do water stuff and ice. What can you do? Can you do all of it?
Yeah, I mean, everything. Just like I'm only sort of good at it,
And I'll cast the cyclone, and I'll try to cyclone one of them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Make a call roll there.
That is, I rolled a 3, but I'll bump it to 4 with primacy.
And how big do you want this thing to be? Because you can make it little, or you can make it up to 8 feet. Obviously, 8 feet of space here is a bit crowded.
No, I'll make it a little one. I'm not trying to like harm them. I'm trying to just do it for fun and to show off.
Okay. Which one? The blue one, the gray one, or the red one?
Ooh. Ty?
Yeah.
As you're going through this, we did just have a manifesting event.
Oh God. Awesome.
So this may have implications here. Bleak Season, you're about to find out what this means.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Tell me which one.
Blue one.
The blue one. Okay, so the blue one's like, yeah, so anyway, water and ice, and you're like, I can do this. And as you do, there's this boom, and the like tent canvas flaps, and everybody like turns and looks in your direction. And now I have to look in my direction and see what Bleak Season just did to you.
Yes.
I'll go, excuse me.
This could go very well or very badly.
And your how big was your cyclone?
Or just the small one is what I
The
intended.
biggest.
So give me a range: 2 feet, 1 foot, 4 feet, 3 feet.
4 feet.
Did you
4
just
feet. So you
level this
engulf-
town?
No,
Did I
well,
get all of them up in it together?
you go whoosh, and all of a sudden the blue Leoni's like, or the Lioni's like, starts squalling like, hey, and it's like, hurry, yay, and you're like, don't worry, it's gonna be gone in just a minute, and it doesn't go away, and it doesn't go away. It's going and going, and the blue guy's like, hey, and like water splashing out and like vomitous gouts and swirling around.
No, this poor guy.
And then like the arms come out. You see the arms spinning around, and the little guy's like, stop it.
Can I manifest like a lasso?
Sure,
Like,
good.
try to lasso him out.
Yeah, give me
guy.
Probably a. Yeah, go ahead and see what you got there. That will make it a wrestle attack.
All right, I got a 4, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you run up and shoop, and you grab him. I'm going to make the challenge roll, and it's actually going to be because of the situation.
Yeah, right.
However, it does not succeed, and so you're like, you can feel it's like a fish on the line. And you yoink him out.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or you just and out he comes, and your whirlwind just it stays there. It's hovering in place, and
That's kind of sweet.
And now your manifesting event has made that whirlwind permanent for the next week.
First foundation is like, we can harness the energy to fuel the industry of the settlement. He's like developing like plans in his mind for wind like turbines and like blades of windmills.
The level set comes marching up and stands and is like, addresses, and including Ode, all of the Leni, and is like, you are informed not to be interfering with these sorts of things. This activity is not acceptable, and you were already told, keep it contained. That thing right there, stop it, make it go, quit. And it's not going away. And you're just like,
level set. Think of the possibilities of this relatively permanent power source, and I will manifest a parchment and like start like diagramming, like some sort of windmill structure, and show it to level set. Yeah, like a plan.
Question: are you going to make that permanent? Because otherwise, it's temporary.
Yes, I will make it permanent.
Okay, if you make it permanent, your armor will no longer be permanent.
Yep. That's all right.
Okay.
Yep.
You got it. So go ahead and roll. Let's make sure that.
Okay.
It's called, and we'll do it at a decreased difficulty scale. Actually, no, we're not going to make you roll. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
You go ahead and your armor fades from your form, and it just like goes into this parchment with unrolls into your hand, this fabric and a charcoal drawing stick, and you start working on a design.
And show it to level set.
Level set's like, well, 11th engineer might be most interested in this. Maybe you should share it with them. But these 4 need to keep it under control. And all the Leni are standing around like, and the 3 that you just met, Ode, are like, and
it's really cool, isn't it?
And then the other 3 are like, yes, level set. And then level set like kind of wanders off, and they're like, so you can do that all the time?
Well, I mean, it lasts for varying amounts of time.
So
But
do
yeah,
ours.
I can do the whirlwind. I
Oh,
call it
yeah,
the
but
rock
it's still.
tumbler.
And then the one Penra says, I could do that too, but it doesn't stay there.
Oh,
Ode, you have developed a source of energy that will benefit this Wotan community greatly. How did you do that?
I just really wanted to impress them.
So they seem to be really engaged now, and they're actually opening up. So you all start chittering to each other, and you learn their names. It's Penra and Weeplop, Eweplop, and Nofnogo, Nofnoggo. And Lenai, for everyone's edification, again, I'm using that to throw that word around. Lenai name themselves typically after the first sound they hear or thing they see. And so Nofnogo heard Nofnogo and came to consciousness, was like, I'm Nofnogo, and that kind of experience. So, and you probably saw a geode and were like, Ode, So anyway, you're visiting with them, and Gudla's like, Tosh, First Foundation, help me finish unloading the wagon. Let's get this set up. And as you get back to that, as you all set up your small patch of camp, a Wotan approaches and addresses First Foundation. Stone Shaper would see you, they say. First Foundation. Yeah, they lead you. Stone Shaper greets you with a slight leaning nod, which you interpret as a warm greeting, and takes your arm. Walk with me, First Foundation. You are led through the camp, and after several minutes, exit out the back way. The plain expands beyond, and several yards away, a shimmering river cuts through the grass. This one finds joy in this view. The world seems to go on forever, don't you agree?
This one can see the distance, feel the distance in the panorama.
I do as well. This one does as well. Stone Shaper leads First Foundation along a path that joins the bank of the river and follows along the edge. 5 guards follow, but at a distance, casually, so as not to seem threatening. This one and these have seen the same number of twilight. Is this one correct, First Foundation? Again, referring to your age. This one and these are the same age as the Lamplack and Asgal say? What does this one believe is most important? Stone Shaper asks First Foundation and pats your arm.
Stone Shaper is correct. This one has seen that many ages, as they say. Importance comes in duty, in purpose, as is the lot for all Wotan. Those duties are given to us, are assigned. This one has seen many days, has performed many tasks in service to the tower, as have all of us at one time or another. But this one has ventured far from the tower in search of purpose. Have you traveled far in search of purpose, or have you traveled far with purpose?
Stone Shaper stops, and you look out over the river, and Stone Shaper says, I have found my purpose beyond Stone Shaper. When I first built those first stones, the early stones, and fitted them for the foundation of the tower, this one was probably there as this one was. This one thought, purpose is all here. And this one and these held the belief for all of this time to build a tower. This one, these many years, has found new purpose. And First Foundation, this one too may have found new purpose, because these know in time our value is less what it was and must become anew. And so often it means this one and this one return to these in new forms with new purposes chosen for them. And this one is not ready for that. This one wishes to be part of something bigger. And this one seeks others like this one that have the same purpose, the same desire.
There is a stark contrast between purpose and desire. Stone Shaper knows this. We all do. To seek purpose is not to falter from the path of the creation of the tower, but to assign one's own purpose is something different entirely. Tell me, Stone Shaper, do you have a new purpose here in this place, distinct from that which was the purpose previous?
First Foundation, I knew you could see. This one does. This one has a grand purpose. And this one invites these to join in this purpose. This one and this one made the tower what it is now. But this one and this one know that the end of this tower and the building of the next and the building of the next is the true purpose of all Wotan. This is the story that this one and this one and these knows. And this one, Stone Shaper, will usher in the end of the first tower, and all these who will join this one in that glory will have met, will have made a contribution to a greater purpose than that which was ever given to us from that first day of the emergence. So long ago, when this one and this one first took life in the garden. This one invites this one First Foundation to join in this one's new purpose. I invite you as a friend.
This one appreciates the opportunity of a new purpose, which, to be fair, aligns with that of the old Stone Shaper. It is fortuitous that this one and these have met. This dialogue between us found satisfying and agreeable.
This one is pleased, First Foundation. Stone Shaper pulls a small item from beneath their robes and hands it to First Foundation. a multi-pronged device folded in on itself, featuring a number of bits and fittings capable of folding out for use. A master tool, says Stoneshaper. A special device, First Foundation. First Foundation, this one made it. Now this one gives it to this one. And they release it to you. And I will give you the details right now in the chat, and you can share them if you wish.
Very well.
As you're looking at that, Stoneshaper begins ushering you back in a loop back toward the compound.
I think First Foundation would probably ask a bit about the progress to this end, Stoneshaper, and assistance therein from the governor. Has it been mutually beneficial, as should be?
Stoneshaper says, this one has tremendous appreciation for those of this one's great age. This one might understand these words, this sentiment. And Stoneshaper pats First Foundation's arm again. What does this one think of the leader in Akshalo account? Does this one have a word? Have word for Stoneshaper?
This one finds the leader, the governor, and remind me the governor's name is Darrow?
Durham.
Governor Durham. As near the end of his useful purpose.
Stoneshaper will answer First Foundation's question. There is a newness to the governor, they call it, in Akshalo that was not there before, that has come to light in recent months, that has changed the relationship that Stoneshaper and those and these ones have in relation to the leadership in Akshalo. And we now have something new to build on with this governor. I am not sure that this governor is all they once were, but are in some ways something else. However, I am not sure. This one is not sure what that is. Perhaps First Foundation could find out more and let Stoneshaper know. An exchange of information as a first step for First Foundation in this new direction.
This arrangement is agreeable to First Foundation. Stoneshaper, it is fortuitous that this one and these have met.
Stoneshaper agrees. You're ushered back into the compound, and Stoneshaper just taps your arm again and says, First Foundation, this one looks forward to a grand future with the first fulfillment. This one and these refer to this one and these as the first fulfillment. Perhaps you may find honor in that title.
In service to the prophecy. And he kind of bows.
The entourage, the guards fold back in, and Stoneshaper fades away and leaves you to it. Ode, you, in the meanwhile, Ode, as you and Tosh are kind of milling around, you have learned from your Lenai counterparts that, again, they're there to help recruit other Lenai. And they refer to things like the big smash and the great galumph and the main mess. And they throw these terms around and work to get you excited on perhaps what all they've got going on. And with this message and this information delivered, I think we are over time now. We will call our session for tonight and prepare for next time.
Boo!
Heyo. That was great. Thank you so much. That was super fun. That was the weirdest conversation I've ever had.
This one and these.
Yeah.
This one and these.
That was bizarre. Oh my gosh.
If we can have should we have our players do their outros?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Lamar, would you take the lead there?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Lamar the Con Guy, Eliamir the Con Guy, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all social medias. I have a super busy week. As I say, playing Nuovarden here today. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a charity stream on, trying to find the information, on K Dampier Twitch channel with a whole bunch of cool people. And then Friday, I'll be over on the DAT Network playing some Pathfinder 2E for Adventure!
Hell yeah.
Sunday on So Matty Games channel doing a charity stream for them. And then Monday over on the New Geeks channel.
Sheesh.
Playing a one-shot, the New Age Geeks channel, playing an evil one-shot Christmas special. And then I'll finally be able to die.
An evil one-shot Christmas special. Now that's wholesome.
Sounds nice.
Thanks, Lamar. I'm excited that you're playing on Kay's channel. I know Kay; she's really cool, and I will try and tune in on that one myself. Ashley, what you got going?
Hey, everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and I am playing, I guess we've got our Vason holiday one-shot coming up on Monday. Is it this Monday?
Yeah, it is. The 19th is coming up fast.
Yeah, so we're doing, like, spooky Victorian, like, kind of, I don't know, Vason thing.
Kind of ghost hunting?
So on this channel. And then Tuesday, coming back for Heroes of Greyhawk. And then, of course, the show. So I got 3 going on next week.
Wonderful.
Busy.
I'm going to jump in ahead of Dave because he's actually the host of this channel and say, you won't see me again until next Wednesday when we have session 4 of Nuovarden. But don't forget to jump into the giveaway, to jump onto the email list, to get free swag and follow along what we've got going on Nuovarden. If you found this interesting, take a look at the beta rules on adventureslang.com. Maybe give a listen to our podcast and see what you think about that and what all is going on. Thank you so much for being here. Dave, I'll turn it over to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Ty. This has been an absolute joy. That was, as I mentioned, the weirdest conversation that I've ever had in a role-playing game. Hey, Phoenixy Wacky, thanks for raiding in with all your friends. We really appreciate that. We are unfortunately just wrapping up, but you still have an opportunity to get in on the giveaway. We're giving away a digital copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook. So type !drawing to get in on that action right now. Get in on it. You could win. You could win. There's the information right there. My name is Dave. I run games, produce games, and play games here on Guild Superior. I'm just absolutely thrilled to be able to play DungeonMisterTy. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we've finally been able to make it happen, and we've got an awesome group of players. Lamar, it's been an absolute pleasure so far playing with you, and given how freaking busy you are, appreciate you being here, man. We're excited to have Udahime back next week. And Ashley, it's always a pleasure to get to play more games with you. So I'm just always stoked to get into some shenanigans with you because I know it's going to happen. So yeah, super excited for all of this game. This Nuovarden game is great. It's going to be going on for a couple more weeks. So tune in, get caught up. Episodes will be up on YouTube. And I got to make sure that I plug tomorrow night. My man, the Bleak Season, has got the grand finale of the Shade Song Season 1 right here on Guild Superior, 7 p.m. Central. What is that? 8 p.m. Is that 8 p.m. Eastern? I don't know how time zones work. Am I supposed to know how time zone works?
I think it is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
They're in the future. That's all I know. So you got to check in on that. I will put a little blurb here about Shadesong. It's a creation of his, and it's absolutely fantastic. So check that out. Okay, let's give away a copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook. This is a digital copy.
I hope I win.
You probably should. You need to really familiarize yourself with this game. It's fantastic, Ty. You should check it out. Ty is, if you're not familiar, Ty is the creator of this world. It came out of his head. I just want to shake his head and see what else is in there because it's endless.
Spoilers.
Yeah, this game is awesome. I'm having a lot of fun. It's so much discovery and freeform manifestation. It's amazing. All right, so exclamation mark drawing. Everybody's in there. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. The Bleak season. Now,
nice.
That's very fitting. Hey, Bleak season, congratulations. You have won the giveaway. You will get a copy of the digital core rulebook, and you're going to really dig it. It's pretty fantastic. So congratulations. Yep, 491 Phantom is already up in arms, but come back next week. And
Phantom won. Phantom already won.
Yeah. Come back next week and you could be entered to win. Yeah, Bleak season really never does win anything. The luck. All right, you guys, look, we're gonna raid into some friends here. We are going to raid into Dork Tales because we love what they do over there. They are fantastic. Just as a heads up, their channel's intended for mature audiences. So if you're not a mature audience, it's time to bail. Okay. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here, Lamar, Ty, Ashley, you guys, thank you so much. All the viewers, thank you. We're going to raid. Here we go. Give them some love. We'll see you later.